If you've been looking around carefully, you probably noticed that there is something strange about the people around you. It's not about how they look, but it's just they are miserable and unhappy. They work a job they hate. They can't buy the things they want. They seem to be in a terrible relationship or forever single. And to be honest, most of them are depressed. And there is one reason for it: they aren't free. They've become modern day slaves. You've probably had this weird sense too, that there is something wrong with your life, that it isn't playing out as you imagined it when you were younger. I remember when I first noticed it, it was when I was about 15 years old and I was working in a warehouse and I was working night shifts. And I thought to myself, this can't be all that there is to life. This can't be it. And in that moment, because of the pain, I set myself a mission. The mission that I discovered was to become free and build a life without limits. A life that was only possible in my dreams. And in this video, I will tell you exactly what I've learned so far about living without limits and becoming free. First of all, there are 4 pillars to living a life without limits and building your personal freedom. It's health, wealth, love, and happiness. And it's impossible to be completely free without all 4 of them. And I will tell you how you can use each one of those pillars and build them in your own life so that you can live a life without limits and build your personal freedom starting today. The first and most important pillar you can take care of is your health. And by your health, I mean 2 things. First, it's having a body that you like. And for me, this was having an aesthetic physique. And the second one is being high energy. So a lot of people like throwing the word health around, but they never actually define whatever it is for them. So I want to be healthy, I am not healthy. Those are just words that they are using. Unless you define it, unless you set some terms up, you can't know really what being healthy is. So for me, being healthy is having an aesthetic physique that I feel good with and having high energy. Because if you are sick, you don't have high energy, right? But there are also moments where you are not sick and you have low energy. So is that being healthy? Not really, not for me. So high energy to me takes care of not being sick and at the same time just taking enjoyment, having the zest and spirit to attack things and enthusiasm in your life. Now, the way to achieve health with my definition is by doing 2 things. Real simple. None of that complicated stuff that other people tell you to do. Intermittent fasting, this diet, that diet, crazy things. No, let's all make it simple so that you can actually follow through and do this. First component, it's weightlifting. So you need to be in the gym at least 3 times a week and you need to be developing your muscles. You need to get stronger because first of all, just having muscles at all times will make you feel so much better. Not only will you become more confident, not only will you look more attractive, but you will also overall give your body a way of utilizing glucose. So whenever you eat something sugary, whenever you eat carbohydrates, your body will be able to put that carbohydrates into your muscles, into building your muscles, and it will have the biggest transformational effect on your physique. I'm not against cardio, but in my opinion, the people who are doing countless hours of cardio, their physiques just don't look that good. They look very skinny, they look scrawny. It's not an aesthetic look. For me, it's about having muscle. For me, it's about having that, for men, Greek god physique, right? That V-taper, wide shoulders, narrow waist. That's what we are going after. We don't want to be a skinny stick just running around all day. This is not about becoming skinny and becoming very slim. This is about having a physique that you're proud of, that gives you some presence when you walk into a room. And for me, this just can't be developed with cardio solely. So weightlifting 3 times a week, pushing yourself hard, making progress week per week, adding on muscle on your frame so that you start feeling better, so that you actually can have the strength Because all those physics that you look at, like you look at Brad Pitt and Troy, right? Or you look at other actors, Chris Hemsworth, that have those nice physiques, and they are not doing cardio, they are lifting heavy ass weight to get better and stronger each time they go into the gym just to develop that muscle. Second element is whole food diet. So the only things that they want you to be eating are things that have one ingredient. So if you take an egg, the ingredient is egg. There is no other ingredients, right? If you take rice, the only ingredient is rice. So I want you to eat a one ingredient diet. You can eat however much you want because we will be putting on muscle, we'll be getting stronger, we will have high energy. But don't eat things that are very complex, that are very processed, that have many ingredients. I want you to be sticking to the simplest foods possible, getting in the protein, getting in your multivitamins, getting in the macronutrients and micronutrients that you need so that you can have the energy for the workouts and have the energy for your overall day, and this will take care of our health. The second pillar is wealth. How do we define wealth in a simplified manner so that you can actually act on it? Well, in my opinion, wealth is not doing things that you don't want to do. When you don't have to do things that you don't want to do, you are wealthy, because everybody wants to have money just to be able to eliminate the things they hate out of their life. At least that's how I view this. I don't care about numbers as much as I care about the independence that comes with it, the ability to say no, the ability to choose the people that I want to work with. So if your definition of wealth is just hitting some high number, this will not work for you. But how do we actually accomplish this? There are two ways that you can do this. The first way is actually setting up an investment portfolio and building an investment portfolio so that you have a backbone that you can rely on later in the future. So if you have $500,000 invested and someone comes to you with a project, or your boss tells you that you have to do this and you don't want to do this, all of a sudden you can tell them to go away and that you don't need to listen to them. So this is one way of developing freedom. But this takes a long ride because you're going to be compounding, you're going to be building that portfolio day by day. The second way, which I think is actually better, is doing work that is aligned with your values and with who you are. I've spoke about this to you before, but it's doing work that feels like play to you and like work to others. It's something that you like doing, that brings you pleasure. It's something that other people value and you can get paid for. And it's something that doesn't feel like work to you. This is where the magic happens. This is how you can be wealthy today, because if you will be doing work that feels like play to you, then you are not really working. We could say that you are retired already. And isn't that the goal of having all this money for you? To not do the things that you don't have to do. So aligning your work with who you are and with your values will accomplish just that. Love. And this one is where it gets tricky for many people. The way I define love is having an unbelievable relationship with someone who has the same values as you. If you can accomplish that, you have love. And to operationalize it better, to give you something you can take action on, I just want you to find a partner that you would go to war with. This is the best way I've heard it described. It's the only thing that you can read in the Bible about picking a mate, about picking someone you love. There is a lot of things about being married. There isn't a lot of things about picking someone who you will marry. The only thing you can find in the Bible is find someone who you can go to war with. And when you think about that person, who would you go to war with? It's someone that you can rely on. It's someone who is competent and skilled. It's someone who you can trust with your life. It's someone who is going to be there for you in your darkest hour, in your darkest day. And it's someone who you never have to doubt. And if you follow these guidelines, I swear your romantic life will be perfect. And it will contribute to your freedom so much, because many people get caught up in terrible relationships, or they get caught up in being single forever. But you have to get out there. You have to start searching, because you need to develop a scanner, like a way to tell whether someone is a good partner or not, and like the standards I've set for you. So you're going to go out, you're going to try, you're going to experiment, and you're going to iterate on a short cycle. So you will go on a few dates with a person, and then you will figure out whether they are the right person for you. The last one is happiness, or I call it the mind as well. So what is happiness? What is mind? What is the last pillar? Well, it's actually you controlling your mind and not letting your mind control you. So many people are controlled by their mind, by their fears, by their anxieties and insecurities, and by their desires, all those random desires that they get from other people. But I want you to be able to control your mind, to actually choose your desires, the things you want, to choose whether you want to be afraid or whether you want to be calm. Because if you can have that power, then your happiness is within your control, your mind is within your control. Now, how can you do this? First, it's Stoicism. You need to learn about Stoicism as a practice. And to define Stoicism in the easiest possible way, it's just taking things that are in your control and taking control of those, and it's also separating them from things that are outside of your control and not caring about those. This is the simplest way to be stoic. So what are the things that I can control? I'm going to control them. I'm going to do my best in them. What are the things that I can't control? I'm letting go of those. Read Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Read letters from Seneca to his friend. Those are two best books on Stoicism that I can recommend to you. And the second one is know yourself. Many people never discover who they are. Like, they have an idea of who they are, but they never actually go deep. They never ask themselves, what are my dreams? What are my biggest fears? What are my goals? What are my values? What do I like? What do I dislike? Now, by you discovering all of those things, you'll be able to make decisions from the authentic version of you. Not the version of you that got sold to you by your parents, by the environment, by all the other people around you, but the one that makes decisions from who you truly are on the inside without outside input. So you just mute that out, you mute out the outside world, and you're discovering yourself like a book. Each chapter, page by page, you're discovering who you are, you're discovering your qualities, your values, and all the other things that are constructing you as a person. So by taking care of those pillars and using this exact blueprint for developing personal freedom and a life without limits, you'll be able to escape from the misery and from the sadness of the normal person. And you'll be able to make active decisions about your life and actually enjoy it and actually have some enthusiasm and just unsubscribe from whatever the modern world is fitting you. And creating your own set of goals, creating your own happiness, becoming the master of your destiny, sculpting yourself into the person that you always wanted to be. So start with one pillar, go first with health, then wealth, then love, and then at the end, your mind. And start with one, then move on to the next one. It's the best thing you can do for your life right now. Subscribe for more advice on how to build your personal freedom and the life without limits, and I will give you all the details that you need in the future. See you in the next one.